Hello guys, today I'm going to show you how to install the recess light using the remodel recess fixture. So this is not the new construction, and on the existing ceiling which is already furnished and painted, I'm going to install the recess light. For this I'm going to use the remodel recess uh, lighting housing, that is this one, and the steps are very easy. First we have to identify the location where we are going to place this recess light. So I'm going to mark the location where I'm going to install the recess light. It is going to be somewhere on this wall, just above the study desk. For this I'm going to first identify the location where there are no studs. For this I'm going to use the stud finder, and using this stud finder first I will locate the studs, and then I'll make sure that the place which I'm going to decide, there is no stud over there. Once that particular area is identified, I'm going to mark the circle which is equivalent to the size of this housing, and cut the sheetrock. So let me first mark the area where I'm going to install this housing, and then I will show you how I identified that area. It's kind of difficult to show both the things at same time. So first I'll mark the area where I'm going to place the housing, and then I'll show you that how I've decided on that area and avoided the studs on the ceiling. Once that is done, we will install this housing at that place, and then run the wire from the ceiling all over to this junction box. This is a two switch junction box. I'm going to keep these two switches as it is, and remove the junction box and replace this two switch junction box with the three switch junction box. So the third switch is going to be used for the recess light. So let's begin. I have identified the location where I'm going to install the recess light on the ceiling. So over here, let me zoom in. This is the place where I'm going to install the recess light, and I have marked the circle over there, which I'm going to now I'm going to cut the sheetrock over here. The question is that how to identify the place where there is no stud. So as I mentioned earlier, I'm going to use this stud finder. The way stud finder work is you press this button and rest this and move the stud finder on the ceiling. So wherever, if there is a stud, the lights will glow. So here, over here, there is a stud, and as I move further, there is no stud over here. So I just want to make sure that in the place where you are installing the recess light housing, there is no stud no stud. So if I go further, over here there is a stud, right, which is but it is far away from the place where I'm going to install the recess light. So now the next step is cut this portion of the sheetrock, and then install the recess light housing. Let me first cut the sheetrock and show you how I'm going to place the housing over here. And here I'm done with cutting the hole in the sheetrock. Usually my favorite saw to cut this type of hole is this pointy saw, which you will find it in any big box retailer shop. And in this hole we are going to now install the fixture. The first part which I have to do is basically run the wire from this fixture area from all the way to ceiling, and then passing that through this wall and bring it over here. And once that is done, I'll show you how to attach the wire to the fixture, that is this fixture, and then connect it and install that fixture in the hole. So let's first run the wire from here to the junction box or gang box, and the wire which I'm using is 2x14 wire, which is good enough for this type of work. So I ran the wire through the ceiling hole all the way to the gang box, and this is the wire which is coming from the recess light area, which I have not yet sliced. This end of the wire is not yet sliced, whereas this end of the wire is already sliced. Black wire and white wire is sliced by for the 1/2 inch, and the reason for is slicing is because this is the wire, or this is the end we are going to connect to the fixture. Now, as I showed earlier, this is the fixture. This is pretty straightforward fixture. It has a junction box where the wire is going to come, and you have to pass that wire through one of these holes. So on each side of this junction box there is a hole, so either this, or this, and these are the knockout holes. So basically whichever the hole you are going to use it, you have to knock out that hole by using the screwdriver. So just insert the flathead screwdriver and then just give a push, and this will come out. And in my case, let me show you how I'm going to place this entire assembly or fixture. So this entire fixture is going to go like this. It means that it is easy for me to use this side, right side of the hole. So I'm going to knock out this right side of the hole just by using the flathead screwdriver and give the push, and as you see, it is coming out. And if you do a couple of times like this will come out. And then I'll be passing the wire through this hole and connect it to the fixture wires. Now, how to expose the fixture wires? It is pretty simple. You just push this lever like this and flip this cover, and it will open like this. And then you could, and this here also, this connectors are push connectors. So basically just press the insert the wire and press it, and it will go inside and it will be ready for the use. So as we already shown you, I've opened this hole. Now I'm going to use the wire connector, that is this NM cable connector over here, so that we can tug and tighten this wire very easily. Let me install the wire and then show you the entire assembly, so that you'll get an idea that how exactly this NM connector will go on the fixture, and you have to run the wire through that connector. So this is the wire connector. It comes like this. So first open this area, this washer, and whatever the knockout place was there, place the connector like this, like this, and then and just tighten this one. So the wire to this fixture is going to pass through this hole. So for that, you have to unscrew this one and make some space like this. So if I show you, our fixture is here and the wire is here. So I'm going to pass this entire wire from this one to the junction box and give some sufficient space, and then tighten this screws so that that wire won't now move anywhere. won't go anywhere. So let me tighten this screws, and then I'll show you how to connect this wire to the junction box. Connector screws, and now the wire won't go anywhere. And now we have to connect this wire to the fixture, so the white goes into the white. So if I show you the white wire and the fixture, so there are 4 holes are there. You could use any one of them, so I'm using the second one, and just push it, and that's it. So this is tightened. The same thing you have to do it for the other wires, that is black and goes into the black. Again the same thing, that's it. And third one is this wire, that is the earthing wire, and that also same thing. So now all these 3 wires are there. Now tug in all these connectors, connected wires inside the junction box nicely, and close the cover. So now we have connected the wire to the fixture, and now this fixture we are going to install in the ceiling. So pass through this fixture, and now push this, and you see over here there are some clips are there. So you have to make sure that those clips are inside, and push them like this. And now using the plier or using the hand, you just push the clips, and this fixture will be there forever. Now once the fixture is in place, you can just install the light inside the fixture and cover it using the cover. In my case, I'm going to use this LED light, which has this which is kind of a plug and play kind of thing. So instead of light, I'm going to install this one here like this, and push this entire assembly inside the light, so that it will go and go forever like this. Okay, now the next part which is pending is basically connecting the this entire assembly or fixture to the power gang box, which is over there. And this part I will show you in a bit once I'm ready to install the switch. So I segregated all the existing wires and removed the gang box from the existing area. So as you see that this is the main power line, which was giving the power to the fan, light and switch. So this is for fan and light and switch, which I'm going to keep as it is. And this is the one which I'm going to use to give the power to the fan, to the recessed light, and this is for the external light, which I've already which also I have installed. Obviously these are the 2 switches, existing switches, which were there earlier, so I'm not going to remove them and going to keep them as it is. But in addition to that, I'm going to add 2 more switches, one for this one and one for this one, that is for the recessed light. And since there are going to be 4 switches, this gang box is not good enough, so I have to install the new gang box, that is this one over here. And for this again I have to cut the sheetrock this much. The way it has to be done is basically you place this gang box upside down or this way, mark the area that how much you have to cut, and then once it is cut, this entire gang box will go like this. And then run the wire through these holes. Again, these are like this you can, using the flathead screwdriver, you can open up these holes easily, and all these wires pass through this gang box. Place this nicely and then connect the wiring. So let me cut the sheetrock, install this gang box, pass this wire through these holes and bring them in front of the gang box, and then I will show you the connectivity. So here I'm done with the installation of all the switches. I've added two additional switches. One for this one is for the recess light, which I have not yet connected to the gang box, and these are the two original switches for the fan, one for the light and one for controlling the fan speed. And this is the new switch which I have added for the one more light which I have added outside this room. So basically the wiring is pretty simple. Hot wire I have not yet connected. So basically hot wire from all these switches will go to this hot wire, which is the main power supply line, and the white wire, which is the neutral, I've already connected and tucked in inside the gang box. And in addition to this, I'm not sure whether you could see, but there is a bare wire, copper wire, which is nothing but the ground wire, and that one is also connected. So basically now joining all these four hot wires to one hot wire, and then I'm going to use this connector to before tugging them inside the gang box, and then cover this entire gang box with the faceplate. So this is kind of done. Let me join all these wires, tucked in all the wires inside the gang box, and then install the faceplate, and I'll show you how it is working. And here I'm all done with installation of the recess light and the switch to control that recess light. Recess light is over here in the casing, and let me switch on the light. And thanks for watching.